Okay, great. Well, I'm excited we have this meeting today. My name is Spencer. I'm the founder of ZTRADEZ. We're a trading community as well as an investing community as well. And who do we have here? Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Spencer, this is Mike Legozzo, CEO of reAlpha.
Great, great. So I had a couple questions here because this is a fantastic company. And I just want to go over briefly about 5 or 6 questions here. And would you be able to tell us a little bit about how your past experience has helped navigate any challenges with AIRE?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you just a little bit of my background. So prior to coming on to reAlpha, where I was actually employee number one and the original CFO of the company, I kind of grew up in the financial services space. So I was with EY for a number of years and then spent a large portion of my career at BMW Financial Services. So that's the captive finance for the automotive company, where I was there for, like I said, 18 years in a variety of different leadership roles, and it really kind of groomed me for this role here today as well. Got to play in both financial services and fintech. One of the things that I also did while I was at BMW was I headed up the first innovation lab for BMW Financial Services for the Americas. And by doing that, I got to work with startups from all over the world and got to see like which ones are doing it well, which ones didn't. Learn from different types of founders. There's so many of them out there, so many dynamic founders, and got to learn a lot there. So when I came to reAlpha as employee number one as the CFO of the company, we were a startup, and I got to kind of learn from the entrepreneurs that I had worked with in the past, as well as the entrepreneur and founder of the company, Gary Devenor. But then as I was learning from him from a visionary standpoint, I had the operational discipline and guidance, to help kind of create this company and start to establish it. The other thing I was really good at in my previous life was scaling as well. So, reAlpha is in a perfect position to scale right now. And I'm happy to tell you all about our platform and where we currently are and how we can go on and do that going forward.
Yeah. So for anybody that's watching this video who doesn't know anything about the company, would you be able to just briefly explain in layman's terms what you guys do to a yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we created essentially a home buying platform that's powered by AI. And what I mean by that is a home buyer could come into our platform on reAlpha.com or download the reAlpha app, and they could do pretty much anything that you think of from a home buying experience. So if you think about that from A to Z, browsing a home, booking a tour, putting in an offer, getting mortgage, getting title, all the way through closing, that could be done on the reAlpha app and on the reAlpha.com website. We have an AI agent that's called Claire that is used to answer any questions that somebody may have and help facilitate them throughout the home buying process. And as a result of us having multiple services that we offer, we also have rebates for using those services as well. So there's a chance to save money.
Great, great. What's your top priority over the next 6 to 12 months for the company, and how will it create value for shareholders?
Top priority is scaling. So we have grown primarily through acquisition. So inorganic growth via acquisition. So we've acquired 2 mortgage brokerages, title company, for example. And if you take a look at us on the map of the U.S., we're offering different services in different states. So, for example, we offer our mortgage servicing in 30 states. Title is only in 3. Real estate is currently in 1, but we're looking to scale that here shortly as well. And my job here is to take all of the services that we have and make sure that we are licensed and operational in all of the states. So when somebody comes onto our platform, they have the ability to leverage all of those services and therefore get the benefit of using all of them as well through our rebates.
How do you plan to scale the company's AI-powered real estate platform while navigating the macroeconomic headwinds like interest rates and housing affordability? Because we all know that's, it's housing is just not affordable right now. And Mortgage applications are down. What's your plan there?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a reality. But what I can tell you is that a lot of these challenges that you mentioned are actually opportunities for us to really demonstrate the value of our product. So if you think about it, right, somebody comes in to our platform, they utilize our realty, our real estate services, our mortgage services, our title services. On average, let's say an average home, I think in the US is like $420,000. For a home of that price, utilizing all three of our services, they can get a rebate back totaling about between $8,000 and $10,000 that they could then use right as part of their down payment on a home, which could lower the amount of the mortgage, which will ultimately help them, or they could use it to buy down their mortgage interest rate with us, which will ultimately help them as well. So the great thing is because we have multiple combinations of services, we also have the ability to do really interesting things with like rebates to ultimately help customers get into the home that they've always wanted, but maybe because of the mortgage interest rates that are currently out there, they can't right now, but they would be able to do it with us.
Interesting. Could you give investors more clarity on your revenue model, how the company generates income, and where you see the biggest future profit drivers?
Sure. So our revenue model right now is threefold. So there is a real estate commission essentially that we would get, but we would be giving rebates on that commission if they utilize our mortgage products and they utilize our title products. So, for example, if somebody comes into the reAlpha platform, we'd be offering, let's say, 25% rebate on the commission structure. If they happen to use realty and mortgage, we would offer 50% rebate of that real estate commission. And if they decided to use real estate, mortgage, and title, we would offer 75% back of that real estate commission. So in reality, if you think about it, there are companies out there that just solely operate on one part of that, right? There's just pure mortgage companies, pure title companies, pure realty companies. All of them have a customer acquisition cost, right? They all have to pay to get that customer. If you think about our solution, right, you have one customer that's coming into our platform, essentially into a vertical that we could use all the way through. Our customer acquisition costs are a fraction of what these standalone companies are. And we're willing to take those savings and pass it on to the customer as a way to, I guess, reward them, right, for utilizing our products. And in turn, we're generating revenues in three streams.
Fantastic. So it's like everything's in house, which makes things a lot less stressful. Fascinating. So, um, what differentiates AIRE from its from your competitors, like the other real estate AI platforms?
Well, I mean, there may be some variations of things that are out there or emerging, but I think we only know of ourselves to do what we do, right, and what we offer. We are starting to see some large things happen out there, like a large acquisitions like with Rocket and Redfin, right? You're starting to see these large institutions who had focused primarily in mortgage and primarily in real estate starting to come together now because I think they see these types of opportunities. But what I could tell you, I think what differentiates us is we're purpose built. We built this from the ground up. And I could tell you, working for a large company like BMW for 18 years, that it's very different. Large companies don't move as fast as these smaller companies. It's a challenge for them. It's their own culture, their own systems, their own processes, their own bureaucracy that they have. So, we look at ourselves as, hey, we are purpose built. We built this, we're building essentially from the ground up. And we have the ability to basically adapt to things as they come to us very quickly and hopefully get a product to the market much quicker as well. So,
Fantastic. Here's the big one and my favorite one. From what you're allowed to say, because I know you're not allowed to say some things. Um, are there any catalysts, partnerships, that you're allowed to talk about, or international expansions in the pipeline that shareholders should be aware of?
obviously, nothing that hasn't already been disclosed. However, what I can tell you though, and if you were to go to our investor deck, like on our investor relations site, what you'll see is that our vertically integrated platform, right, that's currently focused on real estate, mortgage, and title, doesn't mean that it's going to end there. If you think about the home buying journey, there's things that happen beyond that. If you think about the insurance, for example, that could be a bolt-on service, or moving services, or utility setup services. So what we want to do is create basically for the entire home buying journey an opportunity to work through us. And as a result of doing that, that gives us the opportunity to have bolt-on services to what we currently have and generate even additional revenue streams, like maybe four, five, six. So that's one thing I can tell you. It's one thing that we've shared on the investor deck, and it's a part of our strategy. So it's scaling what we currently have and then bolting on additional services on top of it. I can tell you that.
Fantastic. So one-stop shop, I really like it. I'm going to attach the investor deck, a link to that in the description of this video whenever I release it. And I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you, Spencer. Pleasure.
Pleasure. Go ahead.